and Jack Hirsch. Frank, a former amateur boxer out of Philadelphia, writes for NY Fights and can be seen on the Boxing Channel. Jack, an amateur boxer who competed in the New York Golden Gloves, was a 6-term president of the Boxing Writers Association. And now, here's Frank Latirzo and Jack Hirsch.
And we're back. Welcome to Glove Fist. My name is Frank Latirzo, former writer, try to be full-time observer, joined by Jack Hirsch, former 6-term president of the Boxing Writers Association of America. Jack, as I told you before the show, I'm not on my game tonight. I've had some health issues, but I'm going to make it through, whether it's 12 or 15 rounds. Are you muted, Jack?
I got to give you a lot of credit, Frank, with what you told me before the show, what you went through. If you want to quickly tell the viewers, it's okay, because the idea that you're here, would I have canceled that? I don't know. I
thought I was going to send you a text around 12 o'clock today. I woke up this morning and could not walk. Excruciating pain in my left foot. Didn't know what it was. Wendy rushed me to the hospital at like 7 o'clock this morning. They thought it was either a blood clot or gout. Luckily, I tested negative for everything. They did an EKG, they did a ultrasound, blood test, X-rays, everything. So the only thing they can bring it down to, since there's nothing wrong, is they think somewhere late Saturday that I must have done something during martial arts, and it didn't hurt at the time, and it caught me yesterday. So, but whatever it was, I didn't feel it when it happened. And Jack, I told you that happened before.
Do you ever get kicked in the leg?
Oh yeah, we kick each other in the legs to build up our legs.
Terrible. You got to stop it at your age. Look what happened to my guy whose shirt I got on, Muhammad Ali, the greatest. He takes on Antonio Inoki. Oh, it's only an exhibition match. He gets repeatedly kicked in the legs. He's hospitalized.
And you know, Jack, unless you've been kicked in the legs like that, you don't know how much that hurts. That is excruciating. And I said this before. The fact that Ali dealt with that for 15 rounds and stayed on his feet, he is an incredibly tough man, because we actually train that. Muay Thai fighters do that a lot. And I actually thought that there was a chance that I got kicked Saturday, and that's what caused the clot. Thanks, Joe. But the doctor said he didn't think that was the issue.
Okay, but we got to talk boxing now, Frank, and I'm glad you made it on, because you got to hear me say with the Wilder Chisora fight, as far as Deontay Wilder goes, I was partially wrong. I mean, maybe more than partially. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Wilder is a threat to win the heavyweight title anymore. I don't think he's the fighter he was, but he's not a shot fighter either, the way I thought he was. I thought he was completely damaged goods. I thought Chisora would stop him in 8 or 9 rounds, and this would be it for Wilder. But I'm going to tell you, of all the fighters out there, no one has a bigger heart than Wilder. He showed it in the third Fury fight. This guy refuses to give in no matter what.
Neither guy mailed it in.
Fighters say they'll put their life on the line in the ring. Well, Wilder, he's one of the few who you really get the feeling would put his life on the line.
Oh no, Jack, he has stones as big as, as big as the building. I don't know what's left of his punch, maybe a little more than we thought, but I don't think he's the bomb squad that like he was billed a few years back. But again, we've talked about that. That third fight to me between himself and Fury, that was this era's Thrill Manila. Neither guy were the same.
We're going to have a guest, and we're going to call an audible, Frank. We're going to have him on a little earlier than planned, because our producer, Brian Arndt, just informed me he's in the studio. He's raring to go. Since we're talking heavyweight boxing, one of your favorites, Frank. And
who's that?
Come on, gentleman Gerry Cooney.
Jerry's one of I was a big Gerry Cooney fan as a fighter, and I'm a bigger fan as a human being.
Uh, that's a good question. Good question. Am I a bigger fan as a fighter? I mean, Jerry's a great guy any way you look at it. And he once said, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. He said about his
Gerry
career.
Cooney used to say that too.
Right, right. Okay, so let's bring him on. Let's bring on Gerry Cooney.
Okay,
Hey,
hello, Gerry Cooney. What's happening?
Hey, everything is good, guys. I got to fix this thing somehow. I guess. I don't know.
I guess we got you on too early, Gerry. They said you were backstage, so
I was backstage.
We didn't want to keep you waiting an extra 15 minutes as scheduled. Maybe we'll let you out early for good behavior from this show if you got something to do.
Both you guys better watch it, boy. I ain't playing either.
Hey, Gerry, Jack said if you guys would have met in the amateur, he would have kicked your ass.
No. I said I noticed.
He said 154 and 47. He would have been too quick, and he would have tattooed that forehead.
I would have broke 2 ribs on each side of his rib cage.
No. What I said, I was studying, out Gerry, his credentials and all. And I knew he was a 2-time New York Golden Glove champion. But all of a sudden I noticed 1973. And when you think of Gerry, you think of him being a heavyweight. It's hard to believe he was a middleweight at the time. And I was a welterweight. Only one division apart. They didn't have the junior divisions in the New York Golden Gloves in 1973. One division apart. And I'm telling myself, darn it, that would have been pretty cool to be in the same division.
Jack,
by
I'm very
Gerry
sorry, Jack. I'm very sorry to fill you in on that, bro. Wrong. No help whatsoever, bro.
Gerry, wouldn't it have been cool to put Jack on his rear end looking back now?
Gerry, I was Vito Antifermo's sparring partner, and Vito told me about the times he sparred with you. You never went easy on a guy. Vito was much smaller than you, and you were going hard on him. What's the problem?
Hey, Jack, I got to get a little time in. You keep talking. I can't get word in. Listen,
wow. It's not just me.
Vito Antifermo, and he was a tough guy, a very tough guy. And listen, if you got fresh with me, I calmed you down a little bit. And that's what we do is a fight. In the fight game, it's happened many times with me. People coming in and wanting to box with me. But anyway, listen, I have a great life. It's not. You said if I didn't have bad luck, I would have no luck. I had a great life.
You said that once.
I made mistakes. I disagree with the management I had. I wish I had Bob Arum. Bob Arum would bring 3 or 4 top guys in your division into the gym, and you'd all work together and develop. I never got that. Stuff. So, I got involved with a couple of guys who were new. By the way, you see that picture in the back? You know who that is?
That's you and Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. You got a good eye. And
I'm surprised
I needed more experience, right? And I think that as far as the other people were concerned, except for Victor, it was about the money, right? And, listen, we can't live without money, but, I could have used some more experience. I didn't get there. Whatever it is, I'm happy. I have a great life. I'm making appearances. People still know who I am. I like people. I train people. I help people all the time. And the biggest
Gerry, I followed your colleague because we're close in age. I think you're 2 years older than me, but I was boxing amateur when you were pro. I'm talking 76. Well, you weren't pro then, but from your debut on, I followed you. And I remember all the talk leading up to some of the big fights. And I always felt that you wanted to fight the best. And it wasn't you that the fights did. It wasn't because, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. It wasn't because of you that the fights didn't happen. Back when you were coming up and your crowd was Dokes, Witherspoon, right. Page, who else? Maybe Pinklin Thomas.
Don King owned them, and I wouldn't sign with him. Why would he have me fight those guys? But anyway, I did fight the best guy, Larry Holmes, and we had a great time. I don't know why, to this day, that we didn't have a rematch. I could have taken.
Well, but no fairness, Gerry. But in all fairness, you're a very sensitive individual.
You always say that in all fairness.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no, no.
sensitive.
But
I'm
listen,
not sensitive.
listen.
Listen, lay it on me, Jack. Lay it on me. I don't care.
After the Holmes fight, you correct me if I'm wrong. You were pretty devastated. You
I
felt
disappeared.
worse for other people than you
Yeah,
did
you
for
disappeared.
yourself.
Listen,
You
I
felt
didn't
like
like my
you let people.
management. I didn't like the whole business. It was all Don King owned the heavyweight division. I didn't have any good fuzzy feelings. I was stuck in court for months and years trying to get a fight. Anyway, whatever it is, listen, I had a great time. You know, from where I came from, it's amazing where I went, how far I got to the heavyweight championship of the world. Now, was that all me? No. I know Rapport and Jones, you know, they helped to make that fight, sign that fight with Sam Glass, who became a co-promoter. And so I got the fight and I
But when you
regretted
talk, Gerry,
it. Huh?
Frank, I want to hear Frank's opinion. If you talk about the 10 biggest fights in heavyweight history, Cooney Holmes ranks, I think, in the top 10 biggest fights, a build up,
As far as
everything,
anticipation and hype, absolutely.
anticipation, and it was a heck of a fight.
Yeah.
And we joked about it years ago. I said to you, Gerry, every time I watch the tape of the fight with you and Holmes, you keep looking better and better every time I watch it. And then I said, I'm not going to watch it anymore because I'm scared you might actually win the next time. So I better not look at it. I'm hallucinating now, you know.
Listen, both you guys are great guys, and the fight game I love the fight game. I'm on Sirius XM every Monday, every Thursday, talking about what I love most, the fights, and the
All right.
heavyweight division is coming back. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Frank.
Then, well, Jerry, we're going to get to that, but do me a favor. Everything you just said, I want to feel. And at one time, I ate, slept, and drank this sport. I mean,
Yeah.
I could have seen some preliminary guy fight 2 rounds. I know his name is record for the next 20 years. I don't have that love for the sport anymore because nobody fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find the fights. And old guys like me, even I would be willing to pay the ripoff to see the fights, but I don't even know how to use the technology to get them. And then Mayweather came along and he gave us all these exhibitions and all that stuff. It's like, I just think that it's just hard for me to follow and care about it, Jerry.
But you know, Frank, listen, so I got young kids and I'm a caveman with the phone, let alone what I love the zone. I'm on the zone. It's very clear, very precise and simple. I like what they're doing. I like Bob Arum. I thought he was going to leave the game. He didn't. He went to the zone. It's going to put more fights on. I wish more than anything, I could have had Bob Arum as my manager. I wish I could have let him guide me and trust in that.
But Jerry,
man.
you just said you have your kids that help you. How about guys like me that never had kids? I can't navigate it.
Yeah, but
15 passwords. If I am lucky to get, I got to watch it on my phone, not on my television.
Well, you can.
I got to watch on my iPad some of these, like
your wife, your girlfriend, somebody can help you. Jack will help you. He's a very smart guy.
No. I'm the one that gets helped. I'm always calling.
Yeah, he gets help from his grandkid.
You know, I'm not.
Jack, how long have you been married, Jack?
41 years.
Yeah, see, I'm married 30, and my wife gets a little tired of having to come. She says, I show you all the time how to get on Zoom and your email, but we're lazy, right? We're lazy people. And we don't
well, we were brought up in another society, but even today the mindset is different. The fight crowds are different from when you fought. When you fought in the Golden Gloves, Madison Square Garden was packed. 20,000 people.
Yeah, but listen, Jack.
Such a joyous occasion.
But Jack, listen, boxing came off of ABC and you too, Frank, CBS and NBC. So all the kids who can't buy DAZN, who can't buy HBO and Showtime, got to watch the fights every Saturday and Friday night on.
You accidentally muted yourself, Jer.
Is that better?
Yep.
Yeah.
So all those kids went to baseball, basketball, football, soccer, whatever they did. We lost that group where overseas it's big. It's so big over there. And I'm sorry to hear that, because in 1976, boy, we had some Olympic team. And I think 82, or
84.
84, something like that, whatever it was.
84.
We had a great team because we are America. This is America we live in.
Gerry,
We
think
have
about, you
great athletes.
mentioned 76. Think about this. Going into 76, Allie was at the height of his power as champ.
Mhm.
Okay. Lyle and Foreman had an all-time classic in January.
Mhm.
During the summer, I think we won 5 gold medals and 7 medals overall. And then in October and November, Rocky came out. Boxing was killing it in 76.
Wait, Gerry, wait. Yeah, Gerry turned pro around that time. What year did you turn pro in, Gerry?
77?
Listen, Jack, I was never 147. I wished I was now.
No.
I turned pro in 1977. Listen.
What?
I
But no,
fought
it's not.
on
You
the
were
United
good
States
amateur.
team, Jack.
Were you in the Olympic trials?
I fought on the United States team. I went to Europe. I had 4 knockouts. I came home. I got the call that the Russians were sending an old heavyweight team. Did I want to fight? I did. I went to the fight in the garden. I knocked the guy out, the 3rd-ranked Russian heavyweight, out in the 1st round. He was sleeping on the canvas. And they called me to go to the finals of Olympic trials. But I had no self-esteem. I grew up in an alcoholic household. I was angry, but I was all alone. I never went to the trials. My biggest regret. And who knows, maybe I couldn't have made it, but I could have had that experience taking me forward. But anyway, that being said, that's all in the past, right? Like, it's over. Those days are over. Larry Holmes and I are friends.
Which is so cool.
We help each other. We help each other out. We make appearances together. I go 3 or 4 times a month. I make appearances about the game I love. And I give everybody a hard time. And they ask, can you come back next year?
Well,
It's funny, Gerry, when you fought Larry Holmes, and I've said this, I don't know if I said to you, but I've said it to Jack, I've said it to Randy and other people. When I see you and Larry Holmes at some of the functions that you guys go to, and I see you guys really laughing and kicking it up, I mean, that is the coolest thing, because, and Jack can attest to this, the promotion between you guys and the build up to that was so ugly. And we know who the main culprit was, right. But the idea, it was so ugly. And if somebody would have said, these 2 dudes are going to kick it down the road. And Gerry, I'm going to tell you this. You may not like me for this, but I wanted Holmes to beat you for one reason.
Why?
I was jealous of you.
Why? Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I was because I was an amateur, and I knew I could never be as good of a middleweight as you or a heavyweight. And I really was I really was all for the fact that if you would have beat Holmes, you would have been,
right.
It's just off the hook, because you're good looking, you can punch, you can talk. It's just like everything. And I didn't want to see you have it all at that time because I was jealous. How's that for honesty?
That's crazy, but that's honest. That's all good. I've been jealous of people too, believe it or not, sometimes, not just the ones that are white, but all the guys. But listen, I have been so lucky. I have a great life. Let me tell you something. I was at an event where all these top champions were at. They struggle. They don't know what's going on. They sit at the table with their eyes closed. They sit staring into space. You don't know what we see. I cannot believe it. I missed all of that. I missed it. And I saved my money. And would I wish I could have done better? Yeah. Now I'm a healthy man. Back then, I was a young kid scared. I didn't trust a soul. And the only reason why I signed with Rapport and Jones was because they had Howard Davis. And I figured I could get showcased on his cards, which I did. Listen, they were Long Island. Jack, it's a rotten game. I mean, I love the fight game. I love the fighters, but the game sucks. And I don't care what you say or whoever says it. it's a rat. It's a terrible game.
And if you think about it, to me, if you had a Mount Rushmore of boxing's Mount Rushmore would be 3. And I'll say this: Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Ali are boxing's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
There's nobody that could knock off any one of those guys. And if you think about it, if you look about how it ended for them, it wasn't all that great. And they were the best of the best of the best.
I mean, listen, George Foreman disappeared to California. No one ever found out what happened to him.
Jerry, I've been saying that all along. Exactly. When you look up what happened to George Foreman, we don't know really what the cause of death was.
Right.
I have certain beliefs, but I can't prove them.
He just wanted to be alone. And I respect that. And I respect Ali, who done so many things, but he wasn't the real sweetheart that everybody thought he was. He was a vicious man.
Oh,
there was a dark side to him. There was a dark side. I saw him lose his temper a couple times.
Yeah, Ali was a mixture between his mother and his father. In a sense, his father was, maybe a little sketchy in certain ways. And
he was a rough street guy. He used to knock the hell out of his mother. We can say it.
Listen, calling Joe Frazier
Speaking of that, Jerry, you had, when you were coming up as a fighter, you had a chip on your shoulder at times.
No, I never did.
No, I think you did. There's one opponent I think you didn't like. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Dino Dennis?
I'm wrong. You got it, Frank. Dino Dennis.
Well, here's the story for me, right? I'd be in the dressing room and my life would be passing before me and somebody would knock on the door and say, Cooney, you're next. And then you take that walk down that long corridor by yourself and your trainer. And then they open the door and that's when the magic happens. But, listen, I knew that I had made mistakes. I knew I didn't trust anybody. I knew all that stuff. But listen, it's all over, right? I mean, next time.
Jerry, I want to pick your brain on something. Well, a couple things, actually. Now, you talked about the way Ali treated Frazier and the names he called him. We the three of us know he went above the call, and it was more, he said he did to hype the gate. We knew they had guarantees, so it's like he didn't have to hype it that much.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my opinion why I think he did it, and I want to know what you think. I think Ali went above with his remarks of Frazier and calling him and deriding him every way possible, because I really think Joe was the first guy he fought that when you get eye to eye with somebody and you're in each other's presence, you kind of know who's who. And I think Ali processed, Joe don't give a damn about me. He don't care about me at all. He don't think I'm all that. And I can't get in his head whatsoever. So I think he tried to find new ways to be ugly to rattle him.
I think that Ali did get in his head, but Frazier took it personal.
He fueled himself.
Now that being said, they had 3 fights. They both killed each other in the fights. I mean, let's face it, right? They killed each other. So anyway,
did you ever take anything personal? Is there any opponent now who you fought who you don't particularly like? You didn't like his conduct. Put it that way.
I don't. I love everybody, but if you're a jerk, you're a jerk. And there are a lot of those people around, and I got no time for it. I got people that I love, and I got a great family. I got great friendships. I got great people in the fight game. But I mean, we're all a little bit off our rocker, right?
I'm scared Frank, I'm scared I'm going to forget to ask Jerry this question.
No, it's on my mind. You're not going to get out of it.
No. So if they fought in their prime, at their absolute best, your opinion, you fought them both. Ron Lyle against Ken Norton in their prime, at their very best. Who would you pick, Ron Lyle or Ken Norton in that fight?
I mean, in the fight with me?
No,
their peak, the best they ever were.
I mean, it was a very
best of the best.
Close fight between both of them. I think Norton would beat him. I think Norton would beat Ron Lyle. But, it didn't matter when I was fighting. Obviously, those guys were older. I couldn't get nobody to fight. And I don't even know, maybe Rapport and Jones had to do with it. I don't know. The racism was despicable. It was terrible, right? I mean,
With you and King. I mean, Holmes, yes.
Holmes, right?
Yeah,
Nothing to do with
myself
him
and Frank
and
like
nothing to do about me, but Holmes got angry about it. But
wow,
I'm
Danny,
saying
we have another guy at it. Frank and myself kind of go at it about with a great listener, Lyman Pauly, a knowledgeable guy who's probably more knowledgeable than Frank and myself, Lyman Pauly.
I'm not
We
going to see
talk
that,
about-
Jack.
we
You can
talk
see
about
that. I'm not seeing that.
Ron Lyle against
And
Ken Norton.
and he's dead
Frank and
wrong. Ken
myself
Norton's
are
his
butting
favorite
heads.
fighter. Lyle would
I-
destroy Norton. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah, I personally
Jerry,
think that
going into the fight, you had some apprehension against Norton because of his reputation. You
no,
said, and then when you
I
saw him in the
treated
ring,
it
you
as
saw much
every
bigger than
fight,
this guy.
Jack. I treated this as every fight. I got into shape when they opened the door and I walked down the hall. I figured it out. I figured out how to get to him. I hit him with a right hand to the body, buckled. I spun him into the corner and said, "Let me take a shot at this guy." And
Jerry, I told you the best line and one of the best line taps Cobb ever had, because he and I went to 7-Eleven, came back and watched your fight with Norton. It was just coming on, and Cobb fought him a few months before you did and went 10 rounds with him, I think for like $120,000. So you knock him out in 56 seconds or whatever it was. He goes, damn. He goes, Cooney did 1/10 the work and got 10 times the money.
You mean 54 seconds? You testing me, bro? Yeah, listen.
You know, I
Tex
saw
Cobb is a
tape
crazy
today.
dude. I don't know how.
I-
1 second, Jack. I don't know how Tex Cobb is still walking around. The shots he took from only shavers, let alone everybody else. Ali, Holmes.
I haven't seen him for like 10 or 15 years, Jerry. So I don't know. I hope that I hope that he's well. I know when he got done fighting, he went to Temple and he got a degree in sports management.
He was a great actor. They threw
Yeah.
away.
And you know what? He's the nicest guy you could ever meet.
Yeah. So, Jack, you were saying, I'm so sorry.
No, I saw it again today, but I remember on Hall of Fame weekend at Canastota at the banquet, you were on the dais with a bunch of other, former fighters.
Yes.
And they showed clips of a lot of the fights, and they showed the clip of you and Ron Lyle, and that created the most interest on the dais when you landed the body shots and he went through the ropes.
Yeah.
I mean, for whatever reason, people love entertaining knockouts. I mean, it's like throwing a basketball 3/4 court and swishing. They love a spectacular knockout. You know, the way someone's going to land or whatever. The Norton fight, do you think the referee, Tony Perez, should have stopped it sooner?
He was sick to let that fight go on so long.
He's had a couple bad nights.
But listen, also, I just want to say to you guys that, I mean, I had my nose broken once in my whole life since I'm 15 and a half. And that was with a steel cage that a guy was sparring with me. I was supposed to fight Lee Canalito in Italy. And the guy,
Stallone's guy.
Huh?
Stallone's guy.
Yeah, that's right. I thought you said the slow guy. Both those guys, Stallone and very slow. But anyway, listen, could I have done better? Yeah, I could have done a lot better. Had I had a better upbringing,
but Jerry, how did you feel about being called in certain quarters like the Great White Hope? And despite the accomplishments when you were coming up, they would.
Jerry, go ahead. Say you wanted to say you weren't a White Hope. You're Irish.
No, here's the story. So my grandfather's mother was African American. So it was a lie. But they just did it. Don King did it to make money, to get Holmes pissed. I didn't care to let. I had 3 or 4 kids I went to school with growing up that hung around with me in camp, and we ate good food in Vegas, trained every day, had beautiful women coming around saying hello all the time. I felt like Isthmus. You know what that is? Isthmus be my lucky day every day.
Jerry, tell me about my buddy Jimmy Young.
Jimmy Young was a very tough guy, and he had 9 wins coming into that fight.
I remember that.
He was so looking out for my hook. I turned the hook into an uppercut and split him between the eyes. Once I did that, it was over.
Jimmy had a tendency after he lost the Norton fight not to get in shape, but I was in the gym with him when he trained for you, and Don King told him, he says, if you beat Looney Cooney, he says, I will get you Holmes.
He didn't
So
say that,
Jimmy
did he?
went into that fight with the prospect of, if he beat you, he would get the shot before you to fight Holmes. And Holmes
So
didn't want to fight Jimmy Young because that's a bad style for him.
He did not say Looney Cooney, did he?
He did.
Well, Larry Holmes called you Looney Cooney.
It was
Stop
1970.
reminding
It was
me, will you,
1980.
Jack?
Larry Holmes said it.
Stop reminding me. Listen, I love those guys. I love all fighters. Iran Barkley, I love that. Just any fighter who's been in the ring for, I love them. You know,
But Gerry, everyone wanted to fight you because you were the guy with the reputation. No, you were the guy with the reputation. So the feeling was it would be a lucrative fight for them, even if they lost. Even if they lost, they would win in a sense.
Yeah.
So you became a target, it seemed, for virtually everyone in the division.
You know, maybe you're right,
calling you out.
Maybe you're right, Jack. I don't know. I never heard about it. I'm friends with all those guys. Witherspoon was in my gym. We trained together. I mean, all those guys that were around all the time. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, well, I guess so. They would have rather made a few $1 million than a few $100,000 or $50,000.
There's a question,
right?
Gerry, up there. Danny Fuller asked, Gerry, what boxer caught you by surprise at how fast or how strong they were when you got in the ring? What opponent kind of, exactly caught you by surprise that they were better than you thought, and you thought this might be a rough fight when it started?
No, Animal Lopez came out pretty hard, but I kicked his ass.
I remember him. He was a wise guy, tough guy.
I remember Tommy Gallagher sent Eddie Gregg in San Francisco, who was undefeated, to slug it out with me. And after the fight, I knocked him out in the first round. I said, Tommy, what'd you do that for? He said, I didn't care. I want to be famous.
You beat some good opponents.
Well, George Chapman was a great fighter.
Even people like myself, and I don't know about Frank, maybe I haven't given you as much credit as we should. Animal Lopez, he was, really a tough guy.
He was the head of a biker gang out in California.
Eddie Gregg was a top 20 heavyweight, not a top 10, but a top 20 heavyweight. And you beat the cruiserweight champion to be in the future, S.T. Gordon.
Yeah, he was a big puncher, that guy. But
that's the guy that was running around grabbing your legs, right?
The son of a bitch. What was up with that? What's up with that?
He didn't want to get hit, but you're right. He came into that fight. He was known as being a one-punch guy, S.T. Gordon.
Right. I signed with Gordon Jones because they had Howard Davis. Maybe I made a big mistake. I wished I could have been directed to maybe Gil Clancy back then and Bob Arum. It could have been a different story. But as it turned out, I'm here. I have a great life. I've got a beautiful family. I can't wait to go back in with my family. And I love the fight game. I follow it all the time. I help people all the time. I teach them how to protect themselves, how to be most powerful, balance.
All right, Gerry, tell us this. What do you think of Moses Italma?
You know what? I think he's a great fighter. He's only 21, but he's not defensively sound. He can punch. He's a very big puncher, but I've been watching him in his last fight. He's off balance. When you fight a guy like the champions that are up there now, Usyk, who's so smart, I mean, he's not a big puncher, but he's going to keep you off balance. You know, who's the other guy, the big strong guy they got up there?
Tyson Fury.
Who?
Tyson Fury.
Nah, Tyson Fury is his biggest problem is his head. He kept the guys.
I'm tired of his act too, and he doesn't take it serious.
No more. He did. He was
at one time.
So he's made tons of money. Once you get rich, it's not the same anymore.
Do you ever think of the missed fight? What may have happened had you met him at your best? They had talked about it. It didn't quite happen. You and Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, I met him when he was 13. Yeah, it would have been fun. You know, it's like he told him, whoever lands first. He was a vicious guy for a while. Listen, the biggest fight I regret is Mike Spinks, because Mike Spinks shouldn't have been in the ring with me anytime if I was healthy. The fight
Tell us
took
about it, Jerry.
2.5 years to take place. I gave up. It was on, it was off, it was on. I was out in Vegas in a trial, and then it was on, it was off. I started drinking and playing. It was terrible. He should never have been in the ring with me. I don't care what anybody says, how good he was or whatever he was. I would eat him alive. I split him between the eyes. If I split you between the eyes, it was over. But I was like a walking dead man. And unfortunately, that's the game. They dry you out. They make you wait. They put it on.
Do you think there was a chance you were overconfident, Jerry, fighting Spinks going into it?
No, I wasn't taking care of myself because it just took too long. I never believed it was going to happen.
But Jerry, would this be a fair thing to say? I'm asking, is this a fair thing? The you who lost the Spinks, it was the same as Norton and Lyle and Young losing to you because they weren't quite at their best and you weren't quite at your best.
Listen, you can't get that out of your head.
I'm asking, is that a fair
You just can't get that out of your head. You've been asking me that question since I met you, for crying out loud.
I never heard that before.
They were experienced guys. They were tough guys. I caught them. I made the shots land.
Yeah, you did a great job. You took care of business. No, absolutely.
You keep dwelling on that part of it.
No,
That's what I got.
I'm trying to make a point.
Jack, here's the point.
You got to.
That's what I got. That's what I was afforded at that time. Unfortunately or fortunately, I had a great time knocking out Norton in the Garden. I was looking at the referee like, would you please stop it with 50 seconds into the fight? I never thought that was going to happen. How do you take a guy out like that fast? You know, you just don't do it.
But I'm saying we should all maybe give you a little more credit for those wins because Norton did beat Tex Cobb shortly before that.
What is this? Jack is bringing it tonight. Ha ha. What does that mean?
I'm bringing it very cautiously, not wanting to get hit. So
now listen, Jack, I have no regrets. Do I wish I could have had more experience when I fought Holmes? Yes. Do I wish I could have had more looks at it?
But you fought a hell of a fight. You fought one of the greatest.
What I'm trying to tell you, I don't care I'm not listening to what you're saying. I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying, what I'm feeling. It's if I had more experience, more looks, I could have been better to fight Holmes. I could have had more tools. I could have stepped to the side, worked the right hand. I got hit with a little hit. Go ahead.
But I can make the argument, and I don't know what Frank.
You always making this argument.
No. You fought against Holmes. You were in with one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time, and you gave him a terrific fight.
Yeah.
Had the majority of heavyweight champions before Holmes, you would have beaten in that evening, but you had the misfortune of being in the ring with an all-time great in Larry Holmes, and you gave a great account of yourself.
He was great. Yes, he was great. I love him for that. And yes, he was all-time great. Still is. He's ranked 2, but with him and who's it? Lennox Lewis. Both of them. Who's this? Jerry. Jack's got the momentum today. Who is this?
Yeah, Danny. He's from Los Angeles.
Danny, watch it, bro. Just watch it, Danny.
He's a big sports fan. I don't know.
Big Jack Hirsch fan.
Gerry Cooney fan.
It's all good, man. Everything's good. You know what? You know what it is, Jack? I'm in the picture. I saved my money. I got a great family.
Well,
and I love people. I speak to thousands and thousands and thousands of people every year. And I love every second of it.
But listen, Frank, I think might be a little annoyed at you for saying that Norton would beat Lyle.
No, he's allowed to be wrong. He has a right to be wrong.
Well, I just think that I don't know. What the hell do I know, right? Listen, I also
fought them both. You fought them both.
I also speak in prisons to people and tell them, listen, I'm the same as they are. I just didn't murder anybody. I didn't rob the bank. I didn't steal nobody.
Let me ask Frank, how would a fight between Jerry and Chuck Wepner have turned out, Frank?
Jerry beat the shit out of Chuck Wepner.
I love Chuck Wepner. Chuck Wepner is 94 years old.
Jerry would beat up my buddy Cobb, too.
Yeah,
I know that. I wouldn't tell him that, but I know it. Good. Jerry, let me ask
There
you this
go.
though.
Danny
Oh, here's
Fuller
something.
was a big Cooney
Would
fan
you,
back
if
in the
you
days
fought
of
Cobb, would you try to knock him out or box him?
You
You
can't
gotta,
knock
oh,
that
you
guy.
gotta.
Just beat him around the ribs. Yeah, I would probably break his ribs. The fight wouldn't last the distance because I'd work his body. He was wide, soft in the body, and I would bang the body. I love body. The body takes the head down, right? He was a very tough guy. He took a
You were a great body puncher, Jerry. But you always went extra hard on guys in the gym. The word is Cooney didn't know how to go easy in the gym and just spar.
all
You
right.
treated gym sessions like they were fights.
All right, Jack, you got to do your homework because you know what? My management wanted me to work hard with these guys. We were paying him. He wanted to toughen me up. He wanted to make me angry. He wanted to make me good. See, you're not getting the information, Jack. So that was that was what we did. We worked hard. They worked hard. We worked hard. I had a couple of really tough sparring partners. One guy from England one time, he was just very awkward, awkward. And but basically, listen, I was in the ring and there was 5 other guys outside watching to see when I would make a mistake. That's a great part of the game. I'm so lucky.
Jerry, sitting here, it's great to see your frame of mind.
Yeah.
But do you realize if you were fighting today,
Hey, Randy,
how big of a star you would be?
Yeah, maybe that could be, but
No, you would be and I'm not just saying this to suck up to you, okay? You would be a huge star, and it's for all the reasons that we know. You can punch, you have charisma, and you're white, and that never changes. And you can talk the social media game. And a lot of guys would have loved to play the bad guy like Holmes did when you guys fought, and you would have taken all that money to the bank.
Can I tell you something bigger than that? I
Go
love
ahead.
those people. I loved all those people. I touched them people. I felt their pain. I felt their confusion. I felt all that. And they could feel that from me, whether through language or just being around. That's what people loved about me, I think. And listen, I had a great place in Long Island, man. I was a badass out there. But I love those people, every one of them. The sick, the bad guys, the good guys. I go in prisons and speak and try and tell them, listen, change, get home, get with your family, love your kids.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, so Jerry, the biggest regret of your career was the Michael Spinks fight. Now you had one fight after that against George Foreman.
Yeah.
What kind of condition were you in for that fight after? Had you recuperated somewhat?
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Now we're on the same track, bro. So I got sober in April of '88. That fight didn't take place till '90. So I was somewhat, I got a hold of my emotions, and I was no alcohol in my system, no cigarettes in my system. I was pretty clear, but I just didn't have enough time to fill myself up. I was still growing. Because when you start drinking,
you made a switch, but you had made a switch.
Hold on a second. When you start drinking at 12, it takes a while to catch up emotionally. And yeah, Bob Arum wanted me to get Gil Clancy to help sell the fight. That's how we got Gil. And Gil Clancy was a great guy. I didn't think he was the greatest trainer. He was good. But he never taught me about stepping to the right, using my right hand. There was a lot of things that Victor Valley gave me that when I was training, life was too fast for me. But you got to understand that when you're an athlete and you're in that world, life is spinning so fast. The wheels are going and going and going. It's hard to understand. And Victor Valley was great. I still am learning those things I learned from Victor, and I give them to the new guys coming up because I want them to have those things.
Now, Victor was hurt when you left him to go with Gil Clancy, who happened to be one of Bob Arum's best friends.
Yeah, yes.
Right. But what was your relationship with Victor Valley after
I think he understood, and Victor was getting angry as he got older, and he was like, Bob Arum came to camp to do the Bob Hope special with me. And he wanted to have Leslie, what was his name, work my corner. And Victor got offended by all that stuff. And I love Victor more than anything. But those kinds of things, just I think, and what was going on in the press and the papers, you kind of just break away and you got to start fresh someplace. You got to make a break, right? And Clancy was the guy that Aaron wanted, so we did it, and it was fine. I mean, listen, Gil Clancy he had so many great champions. I think of Emil, so many guys. And he just got me late in my career, and it was hard to make me those adjustments in such a short period of time.
Gerry, who wins, the Holmes you fought against the Spinks you fought?
Who wins the fight? Holmes, I fought.
The Holmes that you fought in 82 against the Spinks you fought in 87.
Holmes. Yeah.
He jogs the victory, you think?
Let's face it. I think that the world was not ready to have Rocky Marciano's record tossed upside down.
Oh, you mean when he fought Spinks?
Yeah. And I
First
think
time
that was something that happened.
I mean, you can make more of an argument that Holmes won the rematch. The feeling is, the consensus is that Spinks won the first fight, Holmes won the second. That's the general
Jack, you're very argumentative tonight for some reason.
I'm not. No, I got to make the point.
Gerry,
it wasn't something.
And I'm under the weather because I couldn't walk this morning when I woke up, so I'm under the weather. But let me just tell you this. I was rooting hard for Holmes against Spinks. Spinks won that first fight. That fight came down to the last round, and he peppered the hell out of Larry in that fight.
Yeah.
In that round. Yeah. And I thought that won the fight. But I thought Larry won the rematch 9-6.
Whatever it is, right? I mean, the record, who's got it? Mayweather's got it now. And he wants Pacquiao to fight an exhibition instead of a fight because he doesn't want to lose that record. I mean, how silly. I mean, it's all silly. But listen, they're all great fighters. They've done great things. I just think it's a little too late. And these exhibitions and this Jake Paul is making a joke out of boxing, in my opinion. The only thing is that a lot of the divisions in the fight game, lightweight, junior welterweight, they're really standing up for boxing. The heavyweight division is coming back. There's no more linemen.
Randy just put on in your show for Sirius Radio, the great show you and Randy Gordon do together. He puts Gerry and I will be in the studio with Manny Pacquiao on Thursday.
That's right.
So anyone out there who's listening to our show,
Gerry, let me ask you this.
Can I tell you something? That Randy Gordon is a great guy.
I love
that. There's a guy that has a zeal for boxing.
Randy
still
is the most pure boxing guy in the world right now. No one has a greater love of the sport than Randy.
Yes, he does. He's still big and large and strong. I get it. Frank, you were going to ask me what?
Tell me what you think of Usyk, Gerry. Break him down as a fighter. Do you think he could go down as one of the greats?
He came at the right time. I don't think he beats Holmes. I don't think he beats a lot of those guys. I don't think he beats Lennox Lewis. I don't think he. I mean, listen, he came along at the right time. Let's face it, right? The heavyweight division turned into a bunch of linemen on a football team.
Right.
So big and slow and plotting and he came along at the right time. Now that boxing's starting to come back down to regular athletes again, the 230, 240, that's a great rate for them, right? So,
and if you're 230 or 240, you're big enough to knock anybody out.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, I mean, sure. Body shots are great. I love body shots, Frank. If your friend over here, which I'm going to still talk to him, Jack, I would go for that body on the left and the right side of him, Jack. And I watch his eyes and the expression on his face as it changed.
I got to ask you this.
Yes.
Who would have won this matchup? Larry Holmes, the Larry Holmes you fought against the George Foreman you fought?
I think that Larry Holmes would beat George Foreman. I think he was just smart. He'd stay away. He'd box and box and box. And listen, Foreman was.
You think he would have beat George Foreman that fought Ali?
That fought Ali?
Yeah, the undefeated 40-0, 37 knockout Foreman that did not think he could lose.
Foreman, he got tied in 3 or 4 rounds, right? I mean, that's how you. I was saying, oh, Muhammad, don't take this fight, but he had better ideas. Tire him out, let him on the ropes. It probably helped kill Ali, the punches he absorbed, but he wore him out. That was
How
that
about
was
Lennox Lewis against Larry Holmes? That's one I argue with guys a lot about.
Yeah, well, that's 1 and 2. I mean, so you got to take Ali first in the heavyweight division. Number 2 and 3 is Larry Holmes and Lennox Lewis.
Wait,
You
Joe Lewis.
remember,
Wait. Ali's the greatest of all time, you feel, but number 2, I mean, the
Is Larry
consensus
Holmes.
is still Lewis.
it's Larry Holmes and Lennox Lewis. And if you think about it, Lennox Lewis, I forgot what I was going to say. He lost to Ray Mercer. Really? Remember that?
And he
I
got
thought
the
he won
decision.
that
Yep.
fight.
That was it. That was in 96 at the Garden.
Yeah. Mercer
I thought
beat
he
him.
won that fight. I was
Holmes-
at the Garden that night.
Holmes beat Mercer like a bad child.
And when Holmes is an old guy, way past his prime.
Listen, the
he beat
biggest
a
part
Pete
about
Ray
this whole thing
Mercer,
is we're never gonna know. Do you know that?
But Jerry, that's half the fun is debating it and talking
Yeah.
about it. You know
I
that.
agree. And the sad part about it is that the young kids don't remember. They don't remember, but I remember, you remember, we remember, right? Randy remembers. There's so many great people, so many great fighters that are forgotten about today. And I feel sad to hear where the state of boxing, nobody helps these fighters make the transition from the fight game, helps them pay attention to what kind of money they're getting. I tell all the guys, take your contract to the commission and let them read it over. Let them tell you what you get. And put that money aside. Put it aside. Put it aside. They never do. I did.
Well, most don't make enough. Most don't make enough. Let's be honest about it.
A lot of them do.
I saw a quote by Benny Briscoe, and I'm pretty sure this was a fact.
He didn't get paid nothing.
But the money he did get paid, Jerry, he put it all where he couldn't touch it. So he lived every week like he was broke, which made him fight. He fought and he got better, and he had something when he retired. Okay. But when these guys get these Mayweather type paychecks and they just think, okay, I've made it, they just lose their edge and they're just not the same. And then they forget that these checks are not going to last forever. And that's what I loved about Bernard Hopkins' mindset. He always thought, I am one decision away from being at the back of the line.
Nobody likes him. He just never stops talking. I was at
Bernard?
Yeah.
Yes, but he has a great understanding of the business, Jerry.
But you gotta love life after it's over. And I don't see that. They just, like I got a lot of activities. I got a lot of loves, a lot of things to do. Go ahead.
You're lucky, Jerry, because you're in demand. People like having you around. They want you to come to banquets, other things. Not all those guys have that. They don't have those opportunities, a lot of them.
Listen, they do if they have the right people. But what I'm saying is that had they watched out for their money, had the commission said, well, listen, here's what you get. Here's your contract. This is what it means. They could have done a lot better, but they didn't.
They have nobody grooming them and teaching them. I agree. They don't think about down the road. They think they're going to be young forever.
I grew up very poor. I knew the rainy day was coming. I knew it. So I was never a spender. But most of these guys, you think it's the management, they think it's never going to end. Don't worry, I'm paying the bills. I got the bill. I got the insurance. I got this. And then it's over. And then they're broke. No fighters love the game like I love the game because I'm in the game. I think I help these guys. I talk to them. I tell them the truth. I hope they
Jerry,
listen.
we're going to let you go in a couple of minutes. Just a comment on the Deontay Wilder, Derek Chisora fight.
Yeah, listen, it was pathetic. Yeah. It's pathetic. And listen, he went the distance the first time he went the distance and won a fight. But it was pathetic. He's been away. He's too small to be in with the real guys. He doesn't got the right hand no more. He's just sparring in there. And I feel for him. Randy got on him a lot today. Listen, I'm happy he was able to get back in that ring and try it again. Now
what did Randy get on him for, Jerry? What was his issue?
He thought it was like a joke. It was a joke. And listen, Deontay Wilder wants Joshua on the way out. He's looking at Joshua. I want Joshua. He don't want Joshua. Nobody. It's time to say goodbye. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life.
But Jerry, he's going to get paid a lot of money in his next fight to get slaughtered by one of the young guys.
No, No, he's not. He has, what can he fought a guy that was a gatekeeper for
But
100 years.
he brings in name in the fact that he did score a
No, I
knockdown, and
disagree.
they think there's
when
enough
he
of his
blamed-
right hand to be a factor.
When he blamed Mark Breland for putting that helmet on him and for doing these things,
Oh,
that
before
was-
the fight.
it was terrible. And I
Yeah.
just want to say that was because of his inexperience. He wanted to blame somebody other than himself. And I hope that he's changed for him, but he shouldn't be fighting no more.
Well, we know he's going to. He's
And
going to
Frank,
fight, Jerry.
Anything you want to say to Gerry before, we let him go?
Jerry, I always look forward to talking to you.
Yeah, listen, I love you guys.
You couldn't be more wrong
Jerry,
about Ron Lyle and Ken Norton. You just like Norton better.
Sure.
Lyle would have
Jerry,
stretched him.
You don't
Listen.
realize by you picking Norton over Lyle, and we have follow-up people like Danny Fuller who said Norton would have stopped him in 4 rounds.
I don't care what Danny Fuller says.
Frank is not going to hear the end of this.
Listen, baby, make peace, baby. Listen, I want to tell you guys, I love
Thanks.
both of you, what you're doing for the game. Listen, we got to get the commissions involved to help these guys hold on to their money so they can walk away from the game and be happy and have a home, have a wife and kids that you can raise. Right? You know,
Jerry, I agree. I agree.
Plenty of money. He's got plenty. Both you guys got plenty of money. Share the wealth. Send it here. You want my address? All right, listen. Anytime you need me to talk about a fight, I know that I can break a fight down like you couldn't imagine.
You're saying you could break a fight down better than Randy Gordon. Is that what you're telling us?
Way better.
No, I got to go with Randy.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm going with Randy.
I'm sorry. You're wrong.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Jack, don't push him too far because he gave you that much credibility on Lyle and Norton.
I understand if I was in person, I wouldn't be talking that way.
Listen, I love Randy Gordon. I've been partners with him for 17, 18 years. I love Randy Gordon. I'm a fighter. I understand what they're thinking. I can feel it. I see it. I watch the expressions. I know what's going on in their head. I know all of that. Randy was a great commission. He worked for the casino, great. He did those things. He never was a real fighter.
I was only having fun. I was only having fun with that. Both of you guys are great. Jerry, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for
coming on. You were great.
Thanks,
one of our better shows because of you.
See this, bro?
Thank.
Oh my God.
Jack's ribs.
No, Jack's. Yeah, I can't. It's got to be like a 10th.
It would have happened in 1973, and I'd be feeling it today.
Still. I told you, all you're going to hear is "Down goes Jack, down goes Jack." Frank, Jack, I love you guys. Thank you. Anytime you need me, I'll be glad to come on with you guys. Okay.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Peace.
See you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Great Gerry Cooney.
No, go crazy now. Okay. Tell my wife. I'll give you my wife's number. I love you, man. Frank?
Take care. Same here, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Love you too.
See you, bro.
See you guys. Thank you.
See you. All the best. I'll tell you, he was a wonderful guest, Jerry. And if there's any doubt how sharp Jerry is, I mean, there shouldn't be any doubt listening to him on this show. He recalled things, spoke clearly. He got it together. And then, he has some regrets, Frank, about his career that you could sense. But
everybody has regrets in life. I can look back at a million things.
Yup, how I should have done this, I should have done that, and you have to, I guess, he has to put it behind him, and how much he really has, who knows for sure. But he's in a good place. He's got a good life.
Jack, I got to admit, and that's why I don't like to interview fighters that much, because there are things that I could say that might come off a little bit aggressive, and I don't want to do that because I respect them so much. So it's a little bit hard for me. But Jerry said some things that and it has nothing to do with Norton. I'm talking other things that I just see completely different than him. I mean, he talked about that, Holmes handled Mercer easier than Lewis did. But Lennox knocked out Tyson, who destroyed Holmes. So
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
there's always that conundrum.
yeah, of course. Okay, Frank, good
Oh, I didn't
stuff.
realize it was so late.
See you next week. I'm picking Michigan over UConn. Quick, who are you picking? And then you have to get off.
I'm picking Michigan and rooting for UConn.
Okay, see you next week.
Good night.